Hello, everyone.
Good evening.
Welcome to Piccadilly Stampin'.
Yeah, it's a cold one outside tonight here.
It is.
It's what, 17 now. Ooh, we warmed up.
We've got the balmy 17 temperature, but we're bracing for the big snowstorm that's supposed to be hitting. Let me see if I can get us loaded on here, and you tell me, are we live?
I haven't found it yet.
Oh, okay. Well, there's sometimes a delay, so
Yeah.
let me see if I can find it on the laptop.
Here you are.
Did you find it?
You're live.
Okay, I haven't found it yet.
And hi, Jackie. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Jean.
Okay, you're welcoming everyone. Thank you so much. So,
Come on in.
yes. So if you're up north and west of us, I think they're already getting much of it.
Much of the snowstorm.
Bill's sister lives in Bozeman, Montana, and she says it's pretty snowy, right?
Yeah, a brisk 17 below this morning.
Oh, yeah, that is cold. So wherever you are, please be safe.
And guess what?
What?
It's Nick's birthday.
It
Happy
is Nick's birthday.
Nick.
But is Nick on here?
Yep.
Oh, she is. So in Ireland right now, it would be 1 a.m. So it's officially Nicola Fox's birthday. So everyone wish her a happy birthday. And we're going to be doing a birthday card today.
We are.
Yeah, even though we did one last week. So why don't we get started here? If you're new to us, be sure to like and follow us. And if you're watching us later on YouTube, follow us on YouTube too, so you get those notifications. Let's start off with some cards that I've received. So this beautiful card is from France. I love that. This was with that host paper she used, which
I like that.
I love me some bright pink. So
That is.
isn't that
Black
awesome?
And white with a pop of color.
It is black and white with a pop of color. I wondered if you'd noticed, but you did.
Yeah.
So awesome.
The glare off it was.
This beautiful one, actually, this was one of my favorite stamp sets the year this came out. I could not tell you the year. It's been at least 5 years probably, but that this one came out. But this is from Lucy, and it's got some skis on here, and she put a wreath on it.
Very nice card, Lucy.
Yeah, and then with the birch background, the birch tree background, so pretty. So thank you so much, Lucy. Oh, this beautiful one is from Kayleen. She is in Arizona.
Yep.
Is it going to be cold there?
Yeah, colder than normal for them.
For normal? Not like us, is what you're saying. We're supposed to be getting...
If it was that cold up here, we'd be in shorts.
Yeah, that's true. So, isn't that just gorgeous? I love how she did that with the wreath and then the lights aglow paper. Very pretty. Let's see. Oh, this is from Joy. Joy doesn't join us too often anymore, but this is from Joy. And this was one of my favorite little sets. The dog carrying the cat off to the North Pole, wrapping the cat up. So cute, so whimsical. So thank you guys for those.
Yep, very nice cards.
Okay, so as usual, I'm starting with my drawing ahead of time and doing the announcements at the end. I think that this helps those people who join us that don't really need to stay for the announcements, and they can go ahead and go. So I have got all the names. Look at these, you guys. I was surprised at how many there are.
I know.
Between this and YouTube, it's getting a little bit. So let me give this a good shake. I want to move this and move those around. It doesn't shake as well. Bill will draw. We're going to do the drawing. So how you get in a drawing is if you share my video this week, you'll get into next week's drawing. And yes, I will be doing a live next Wednesday. And so these were from last week's. This is the card that we made last week. So let's see. It's a window flip card. Bill, why don't you grab
two?
Did you get two at once?
Yeah, they were kind of
stuck together?
Yep.
Okay, what do you got?
Well, got a couple new ones here. Carol Brown.
Carol! Thank you, Carol, for sharing. So just let me show you this from last week. So we've got the window on here with the window sheet, and then is a window flip card. So Carol, I'll be sending that to you.
Do you know Carol?
Well, I was going to do that at this.
Oh, no, Vicky Schreiber.
Vicky Schreiber. Oh, okay. So I don't know you, Vicky, and if I have sent you one before, I'm sorry, I'm not putting the name there, but you won this card. So if you will just message me here on Facebook, and Carol, I think I know that name, but maybe I don't. So Carol, why don't you both just message me here on Facebook so that you can get your card. I'll send those off in the mail for you. So thank you so much for sharing my video. So we're just going to dive right into the project. Yes, the card. And I wanted to, I don't know where to start this time. Do I start doing Stampin', or maybe I'll do the base or the stamping? I'm not sure.
Yeah, just skip it.
Well, how about if I start with the sets that I'll be using?
There you go.
So on this card that just went out to our winners, I used the art gallery bundle. Yep, got it. I used the art gallery bundle. So I'm going to use this bundle again because I want to use a different image and just show you the diversity of this set. I love this set, by the way. And I am going to be using the dies. I'm using this die, so I'm going to get this off right now, which will cut out this image that we're going to be stamping, so we can use that. I'm also going to be using the flame florets, and the reason why I wanted to show you this is, do you remember last time when I cut this circle out, I said I'm going to use the oval that was left over, the negative, for a project?
I remember.
Yep, well, that's what I'm going to be using for the negative on my project this time. And so I wanted to show you that. And I'm also going to be using a couple more of the dies from this one. So here's that oval. And I used this die to cut that out, to cut this one out on this project. So we're going to be using that on this project. But then I added this die, and it makes this really, we're going to be doing another blue card. I guess I'm just in a blue mood. I don't know. So I pre-cut those so it would be ready to go for us. So you don't have to wait around for that. But on one of the images, I can't pre-cut. So we will have to use the mini stamp cut and emboss machine. So that is the framed florets and art gallery bundle. I'm also going to be using the embossing folder called Painted Texture. It's the one that was originally put up to be with this stamp set because of that. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it looks like swooshes on a paintbrush. So there's that one. And then one more. I'm going to pull this out. I need from the scalloped contour scallop dies, I just need that middle one for this cutout. And I pre-cut those so you don't have to, that's a lot of cutting in one show. I know you guys have packages to wrap and stuff like that, so that's why I'm using this to show you as an example what I used. And then let's get started with the project pack. So I'm going to start with 2 pieces of basic white, and I want my Stampin' Pierce mat. Whoops, it's stuck to something.
Wow.
Because, what's up?
Gene Shute says they have over 55 inches of snow on the ground.
Oh my gosh, Gene. You're going to be...
the water. It's been dry up there.
She's going to be stuck up there until summer. 55 inches. Okay, that's like my time in Alaska. So I'm going to start off with that image from the art gallery bundle, and I want to bring this image right here. And I'm going to be using this image to add the two-tone stamping with this. And I have chose the Balmy Blue and the Night of Navy. So we're going to start with the lightest color. This is the Balmy Blue. And I think I'm going to start with this image first. So I just have a piece of scrap here, and we're going to ink this up. This was my favorite stamp set when it first came out, and honestly, I still really like it. I think it's perfect with that kind of artsy-fartsy. I hope I got that dark enough.
Guess we'll find out.
I guess so. Okay. And I want to give that a moment to just make sure that I've got it pressed down in all areas so that ink transfers. I did. Okay, now when you see the image and you see that it's got missing parts, that's okay. It's supposed to be there. It's supposed to have that look. While I've got this out, I'm going to bring in this other piece. Now this one was purposely cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm going to ink it up again.
Australia.
Oh, wow.
Gail from Australia's back.
Well, they're not having the cold and blizzard we are.
No, they're having summer.
Yeah. I would like to be there. Not a fan of the cold. We're going to have blizzards here.
Winter's coming in with a vengeance.
It is. Okay, so then I'm going
Either today or tomorrow.
to bring out the Night of Navy. And so there's this little kind of accent piece, and I love it because it's going to work beautifully on this card. So I'm just kind of going to wing it. It's going to look different on each one of these flowers. So however you do it is great. There's no right or wrong. But I love that pretty blue. Okay. And then on this one with the scrap piece that we're going to be cutting out, I will add this down. Sometimes I think we forget that we have stamp sets that aren't on the new list, but they're still wonderful stamp sets. I'm going to set this aside and I'm going to come back because this is going to be the middle of my card. And as I said, I was going to do happy birthday again because today's Nick's birthday. And I don't have a whole lot of friends that are out of country, so this is kind of fun for me to do this. All right, so that's the stamping. That concludes the stamping portion. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in the die cut and line it up on here over my image. And I'm just going to use a piece of washi tape. I won't be needing this now because all my stamping's done. But I am going to bring in, whoops, my plates are falling. I'm going to bring in the silicone craft sheet because that'll help keep it from slipping. And I love that. And I'm a righty, so I'm going to put it on the right-hand side and open up the Stampin' Cut Emboss Mini. And at the end, I will be having an announcement about the Stampin' Cut Emboss Mini that I think people might like. So I'm just putting the base plate 1 and then 1 acrylic sheet 2 on, putting my die and the paper on, and then the other acrylic sheet, number 2, on top, getting that started. And then I can just hold right onto it with the mat underneath. It holds right in place, run it through, and now my image is cut. I love this. I don't know if I'm going to be able to wait to tell you guys. Next month, the Stampin' Up! Is having a special. I'm just going to tell you. And they have the Stampin' Cut Mini in a color.
What?
Yes, and it's not just any color. It's one of the in colors for...
The new ones?
Yes, for the 2023, 2025. Yeah, I have to think about that. 2023 sounds so weird to me, but better get used to it. It's here in just a few days. Okay, so got that done. And I'll put these plates up. So now you can see I've got that image cut out. Isn't that gorgeous? Pretty, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, now let's set all this aside and let's bring out a whole sheet of...
A whole sheet?
Mm-hmm. Yep, we're going to make a different base. We're going to do a fun fold. So that means I'm going to need my Stampin' Trimmer. So this is an 8.5 by 11, and I am going to score this on 4 and 1/4. Okay. And then I'm going to turn it and score it at 5 1/2. Okay, now why I have it in this placement, I'm going to move that score one. The score one is always the lighter colored, and then the cutting, I don't know if that shows or not, but the cutting's the darker one. And I want to leave that in place, and there's a couple of edge lines here on this cutting tool, and it will tell me when I'm right up to that score line. So I'm going to go ahead and cut right up to the score line. Looks pretty good. And then I'm going to pick it up, move that back here. And then I'm going to hook this back to the 4 1/4. And I'm going to have that up at the top because I'm going to cut this first corner right off.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, you like
Very
that?
interesting.
And I'm just going to match that line on here off, and it should just pull, if I did it right off.
Oh, wow. Good job.
Yeah. So now I'll use this in another project.
Another project there, yep.
Okay. So while I have that here, I'm going to take where these score lines are, and I'm going to fold this one over like so. And I want to put this back on my trimmer. And you do need a trimmer for this. A guillotine doesn't give you enough area to lay this. So I'm going to lay the tip of my cardstock to where the cut is here and the score line is here. So I'm going to lay this down, making sure it's in the track, and I'm going to cut that off. Boom, boom. Okay, pretty easy, right?
Wow.
Now, same thing, I'm going to fold this one over, but I'm going to go the other direction. So I'm going to go from this part all the way down, and I'm going to, let me try to move my hands up a little farther. So from here, and then I'm going to line this tip into the edge to where the score is. And now I've got that cut. Okay.
On one, you put the tip at the top, and on the other, you put the tip at the bottom.
Exactly. Okay. Now what
More
this...
paper for a project.
Yep. You know. So what this does is this gives my card a fun fold like this. Okay, so those were the tips on cutting this. Now let me show you the tips here, because the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Painted Texture 3D embossing folder. So when you are running this through, you will need, you can't use the mini, you're going to need a regular size Stampin' Cut emboss machine. You want to put these in. The top of this is going to be embossing on the top of your card, because the card is going to have this really neat fold, and this is the top of the card. So you're going to want to put this, and as you see on your embossing folder, there's a little bit, it doesn't go right to the edge, it goes close but not right to the edge. You want to line those up, and then you want to fold this over, fold this down, and run it through your machine. And then on the other side, you're going to do the same thing, this up with this. You're going to line it up this way, making sure that that little edge is off of your card base. And you're going to fold it down and fold this down, and now you're going to run it through this way. I hope that made sense. Did that make sense to you?
Yes, it did.
Okay, so I went ahead and I pre-did that so that you guys wouldn't have to wait for me to run that through with this embossing folder. So now what you come up with is a fold.
I like that.
Like that.
Ooh, I like that.
Isn't that neat?
Yes.
Now, the way that...
Look at all the hearts.
Oh, did they come up? Okay, great. I'm glad that makes sense. So now we know that this is going to be the inside of the card. So I'm going to go ahead and let's just take some of my green glue so I can get that centered in there. And I am going to, I like to put a thin bead of glue, but far enough from the edge that it doesn't like squish out the edge. Another tip that I have is after you run it through the embossing folder to score it, or not score it, I'm sorry, to burnish it down with your bone folder. But don't go like this to burnish it down. Don't do it on this side. Flip it over and do it on this side, and then flip this over and do it on this side. And the reason why is because you have all of that wonderful embossing here.
You want to smooth it out.
You don't want to smooth it out. Exactly. See, you do listen to me. I accuse him of not listening to me.
I listen.
But sometimes I think maybe he does. Okay, so now you have this neat fold. How are we going to decorate that? There's many ways. And I'm going to show you more than one, but I just want to show you what I chose for this. So on the card that we did last week, I did something without DSP at all. I made my stamped image and I did embossing. I decided that's what I'm going to do this one, but I will show you one with what I'm going to do for DSP with another one. Okay, so here it is. So I decided, what if I had this thing as the flap? So it looks like a regular card, but then when you open it, you get, ta-da, like a little flap on there. So I decided I was going to do that, and I decided that I was going to start off by using this scrap that I told you guys I was going to use for another project. So I'm going to lay this down. I could have just put the flower right onto this. That would have been fine also. Now, let's see. Do I have the... Whoops. Sorry. I'm trying to grab my... Wrong one. Again. So I have this sticky little sponge dauber. It's kind of gross after time. I throw it and get a new one. But I'm going to pull in my mat again. I love this mat. It works great for...
Hey, I cleaned that off last week. That was pretty cool.
How it just went zoom.
Yep.
Yeah, because I had been using chalks on it, and he just went and rinsed it for me. So this piece right here, I am going to, now a lot of times I can just do this. I stamp every day, you guys. I'm so used to it. I can go along the edge. But I just want to show you another way. You put a little bit down on your silicone mat, and you just kind of put it on that end, like so. And then you can tap the areas to which you want stuck down, so that they get the glue. Try not to let it move around on the mat, because that glue is going to come in here. And if you move around, then you got the glue on the front of your project. So you just want to tap these areas that you want to really stick down. Like this. Now, the only thing about this is, let me move this a second. When I come here to my project, I got to make sure I get it right where I want it, because it's a thin little layer of glue on there. And if you don't have it right where you want it, you're pretty much committed to it. So there we go, because it doesn't wiggle around. Normally, you know how I like the green glue because it wiggles around. This doesn't have much wiggle room. That's why I like to do it the other way myself. Now, when this dries, and it'll dry by the time we're done with the show, and it'll just peel right off with your thumb, and then you can throw it away in the trash. So now I have kind of a base for my flower. So let's just go ahead and pop this up. What do you think so far?
Looking good, looking good.
Are there any questions or comments?
They're loving it.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to use an edge piece down here.
Uh-oh.
Well, I got a little thinner
They
section.
love the tip.
Good tips, yeah. Lots of good tips. You got to have those. Okay, and I'll cut another one on those edge pieces, because I want one right on that side, so I have all these areas. Now, using my little... I broke off my index fingernail again, so I'll use my thumbnails. I can grow nails, but for some reason my index fingers break off a lot shorter than my other ones. Okay, so now we have this, and it all is matching beautiful. I love how our products do that. Okay. Isn't that pretty so far?
So
I love
far,
it.
I love
Okay,
it.
let's bring this back in. So since our cover opens at an angle, I don't want to glue the whole back to put it on or it's not going to open, right? I just want to glue kind of from here. So I know that I'm just going to kind of glue this area, and I may just do a glue dot to tack that little bit down. I don't want it smearing over onto this, so I just kind of have an idea there of where I want that. And
They love the colors. What is that?
is Marsha on? Because Marsha loves blue.
She's on.
Okay.
Well, what's the colors again? Night of Navy.
Balmy blue and night of navy and basic white. Okay, so, well, I did a few blue cards. I did a blue card for my Casing Tuesday card, too. That's all I've done is blue cards this week. I promise I'll do a different color next week. I'll probably start using some of the new stuff.
What?
Yeah. So now if you get it here, I recommend instead of using a, where's my take your pick tool here? Instead of using the glue all the way down, I really highly recommend just using a glue dot down here. It'll lay flat, it'll hold it in place, and you know you don't have anything oozing out of this area. So it's been a while since I've done this card layout, but it's just so much fun. So, okay, that's how it's opening. It matchy-matchies. It's so pretty. I love it. But it needs a little bling. So let's start off with our Simply Elegant trim. And let's go for some silver this time. My gold's almost gone. I use a lot of gold, but
Have you?
yeah, but you know, we're in the winter months. This is a winter birthday card, so we'll do a little silver and blue, which is so pretty. I'm hoping that if this storm passes, maybe we can look at some Christmas lights on Christmas Eve, drive around, but we'll see what the roads are like. Do I want that a little smaller? Maybe I want that just a hair smaller. There we go. Okay. And just trim that down. And then I will use a glue dot to adhere this on my floral image. Okay, so that brings a little bit of shimmer and sparkle. And I debated on what to use. Sometimes the basics are just wonderful because you can, I'm going to take my take your pick tool from the paddle to the pokey end. You can use these and you can color them if you want to with our blends, and then they can turn into any color you want, or you can use these just as they are, and I felt like these would be fine just as they are. So I'm going to go ahead and attach these. Whoops. We got one that went rogue here. Right here. It's kind of a simple card. Now, there's a couple things I want you to notice. I didn't use any DSP on both of these cards in the last 2 weeks.
2 weeks in a row.
Yeah. I made this one, it's a fun fold. It has no DSP at all. It was embossing folder and stamps. And this one has no DSP at all, just embossing folder and stamps. Both beautiful cards. Different in their own right. Both fun folds too, I see. Now let me show you one other thing here. How do they like it?
They're loving it.
Would you guys, did I make that simple enough that you guys would know what to do and you would try to make a card with this kind of fun opening?
A couple of them say they're going to try it.
Good. That's awesome. Let me show you. So when I cut this piece out, I noticed, now I'm not going to do a blue card next week, I promise, but I noticed that when I cut this one out, I had this left over, and I thought, well, I was going to show them how to use this. Now I have to find something with this. So I won't be making this card. I want to show you something where the card opens another direction. I use DSP. So on this one, I'll probably decorate it with this DSP. This is the, let me look here. It's always hard for me to remember names. Hues of Happiness DSP. And I use this piece here. And I don't try to do, I try to do things as simple as possible. I don't like hard stuff. If it takes too much time, I'm ready to throw it away, and I want to be able to get my stuff out. So here's what I did. For the DSP, I cut it a 1/4 inch smaller than the card base. So 4 by 5 1/4. And then I just sliced it in half, and I just pushed these right to the end so that they butt up here to the end of the card when I glued it down. So this is what I'll use for this one, but let me show you another thing. I cut this corner out. When this card was here, I cut this corner out. I showed you how to do that, and so the card opens this way. On this one, I cut the opposite corner out, and so the card opens the other way. Now, if you accidentally do that, you're not concentrating and you accidentally do that, it's okay. Flip it over before you do anything else and fold it the other direction. So don't worry if you're cutting it one way or another. I just wanted you to know that. But here's just, I haven't got it decorated yet, but here's my idea of what I'm going to do now with this DSP. This one without and then this one with. So I have another one, and if you share,
oh, they've been sharing like crazy,
you'll get your name in for this card drawing. So I have one going each direction. All right, I'm going to set this aside. For those of you who don't need to hear my announcements, go ahead and go. I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas.
You bet.
And we will see you next week, 7 p.m. Now, for those who want to stick around and hear some announcements, let me tell you about my paper share coming up. I don't have many announcements, but I do have a paper share coming up. And this, I did a video today and I posted it. So if you haven't seen it, go look at the video prior to this video. And it is on YouTube. Just go to Piccadilly Stamping YouTube and you'll be able to see it. I show each of the new papers, how they're cut, how they're packaged, and what you get. That is something that I do as kind of a service to my customers, but also to myself. I take part in the paper shares. You get 1/4 of the cost and you get all of the papers from the new upcoming catalog. Now, if you are one of my VIPs, you have this catalog already. If you've ordered $50 or more in the last 6 months, you've got a catalog and you've got one of the celebration. What happened to the celebration?
Underneath there.
Oh, it is? Okay. Here it is. Catalog coming to you. I do want to let you know, though, that the paper shares only has, I have 2 options this year, and it only has the papers that are in the catalog, not the host paper that you can get in this catalog, not the freebies from Celebration. Those are earned a different way, but just the papers in this catalog. So you can check out that video, and I will post a link if you're watching this later on YouTube. Also, I have some of the host paper, and I decided to make, I think it was 12?
Oh, the card kit?
Yeah, the stamp pack. So I have a gift with purchase, and this is now if you want to purchase ahead of time and see some of it. With placing an $80 order using my current host code, while supplies last, you can get these. Now, sometimes when I have extras or abundance left over, then I will continue to send those out as a thank you to my gifts and to my customers until they're gone. But if you want to get them right away before they're gone, $80 using my host code. And I will provide a link with my host code, not on YouTube though. I can't do that on YouTube, but on my Facebook page. Now, the reason I have joined my team on here is, what did I do with that? I can't open this and tell you, but there are 3 different ways you can join this year, and it is amazing. So as I was talking about that Stampin' Mini that I was using earlier, we have one of the new in colors is going to be put out with this, and when you join, you can get it in that in color. and it's so stinking cute. I think I just have to have it. So I haven't ordered it yet, but it's on my list. It was a $63 value, and you're going to get it for free. So how that works is you're going to get $175 worth of product, your choice of what those products are. This is only good starting January 5th. It's only good during celebrations. So January and February, January 5th through February 28th. It's only good that long. You only spend $129. You get $175 free, and the boho blue, that's the new in color, Stampin' Cut and Boss machine. Or if you like the white better, they're going to have an option. Option 2 is that you can get the exact same thing, but you can just choose the white mini like this one. And then there's a third option. For $99, you can get $175 for free. So if my figures, that's over $200 worth of product for $129 when you get the machine. So that is the better deal if you don't have one, and I love them. So those are some options, and I just wanted to let you know that that was coming. I've had a couple people talk to me about maybe wanting to join, and I wanted to let them know that there is a special coming because I don't want anyone to miss out on that. I wanted to let you know that I'm taking some time off, so there will be no parfait on Friday, where I do a demonstration on Friday, and that also for my VIPs and my pearls, no demonstration on Monday either. I will be back on Wednesday at 7 p.m. though. And then the last thing is just Stampin' Up's specials right now. They have the clearance rack. There's some stuff on there. There's actually quite a bit on there. And then a lot of stuff has been sold out on the mini catalog, but you might want to take a peek because there are some big deep discounts of up to 60% off. So that's what I have for tonight. I surely did appreciate sharing this card with you. I hope you'll give it a shot, and I will see you next Wednesday. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.